Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where we just did a minor redesign of our Odd One communications satellite, and we added in a service bay, moved everything in there, tossed in an RTG and called it a day. And also a new version of the satellite. It's got basically the same delta V, maybe a little bit less because of the extra weight from the service bay and the RTG, but it's got plenty. It's got 20,000 meters per second of delta V. If we need to, we can always double up on these external boosters if we need to go further. I don't think we'll need to go further. So let's go ahead and launch this guy. We are planning on putting him into a polar orbit over Dress. That's the idea anyway. So we'll see how well that works. As soon as it loads. There we go. I think it's finally loading. That was a wee bit lengthy. Okay. Well, we're just going to let MechJeb handle the gravity turn, and off we go. Fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to just adjust these a wee bit. And we are angling over nicely-ish. MechJeb always has the wacky turn that it likes to do. Oh, going this direction. Awkward. Okay. Well, that's fine. I hope. It could get interesting, to be sure. I mean, we could force it to roll a different direction. Like, and I think I will. I'm going to force it to roll over this way. Well, I'm going to go all the way around because I'm used to having it around like this. There we go. That's more like how I'm used to having it. Excellent. And hopefully, like that, we won't run into some of the issues that we might have if the side boosters were vertically aligned. Would certainly be nice if we didn't run into those. Okay, our side boosters will be detaching momentarily. So right about now. Hey, they didn't even take out any of our fins. That's what I like to see. Excellent. Okay, so at 50 kilometers, we will be deploying our fairing. We don't need that any longer at that point. We're not at 50 kilometers yet, obviously. We're at 38 kilometers, 39, 40. So here in another 10 kilometers, we'll get that taken care of. Going to be doing the same thing here with our circularization burn. In fact, we may as well just set it to skip circularization. We'll do that manually as soon as we get out of the atmosphere here. Don't need our fairing anymore at 50 kilometers, so there we go. Don't need to be carrying that weight. And we are at our apoapsis goal height as of right now. Excellent. And we'll just go ahead and get yawed right back over. And in the meantime, I'm just going to go ahead and create at our apoapsis here a quick maneuver to break us out of the solar system. Well, not the solar system, the Kerbal system. So right about like that. That'll be fine. Don't need ascent guidance anymore. We do need the maneuver planner because I'm using MechJeb to execute nodes because I don't feel like doing it manually. Excellent. Gonna go ahead and physics warp the turn. But I'm not going to physics warp the actual burn because we've got this weak point right here, and physics warp likes to create a 90-degree angle in the rocket, and I don't like my rockets to be at a 90-degree angle. It just doesn't work well for some reason. So we're just going to do this burn under normal speed. We are going to have, once again, a small amount of fuel left in our initial booster stage to be able to do some of our inclination changes and such like that. So that'll be fine. We are now officially in orbit. And we are now pushing out our apoapsis. We will very, very soon be exiting the influence of Kerbal. And that will be glorious. Not like we haven't done that one before. We've done that one a lot of times at this point. A whole lot of times. So, as far as our Dress missions go, of course, we will be putting this guy into polar orbit over Dress, as wide as we can get it, rather like our current Dress orbital satellite. That's the word I'm looking for. This is our equatorial Dress satellite here. And we'll be just putting one in a polar orbit, going like so. Or like so. I'm not sure which direction yet. We'll find out. So let's just go ahead and pop back over to Kerbal real quick. Focus on unknown object. Close enough. And let's just warp to the Kerbal escape, which will be somewhere over here. Or over here. 1 year away. That's exciting. Somewhere over here. Yeah, that's more like it. It's the color change there that tells you. Warp here. Perfect. Okay, so we are going to need to change our inclination to the inclination of Dress, which is, of course, a 5-degree inclination. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I think we could theoretically probably find an encounter within the plane that we're currently in, but I'm not going to bother with that. So we're just going to very simply do a match planes with target maneuver here. Last time I did it manually and it was fine, but now I'm feeling lazy. So we're going to let MechJeb handle it. Excellent. Create and execute. Only in 26 days. That is nice. Very nice indeed. And this is going to be 801 meters per second, so we're going to be able to get about 7/8 of it done with our initial stage here. So that's nice too. I'm quite pleased with the performance of this design. It's been getting us a lot of places. Gotta love those mainsails. Truly, truly glorious. And of course, not needing oxidizer for our atomic motors. Oh, so nice for these maneuver stages. Absolutely love it. Can save so much weight that way. There we go. Let's push on forward. We will be at Dress after we do a couple of burns here. So let's match our planes here, and then we're just going to do a home and transfer to target. Nice and easy. In fact, we can go ahead and get that set up while we're waiting. Home and transfer to target. I'm not going to actually create the node until this node is finished burning out, because sometimes it can do some wacky things with compound nodes. And I just don't like using compound nodes. Also, we're going to need to manually stage this. MechJeb won't handle that. So that will happen here in about 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, now. There we go. Fantastic. Now we can physics warp, now that we no longer have this weak point. Excellent. So we have now matched planes with Dress. We are now at the 5-degree inclination that Dress is at. So that's perfect. And let's just go ahead and create a home and transfer to target. We are close with that home and transfer. Did that actually get us an encounter though? No, it did not. So let's just see what we've got here for an encounter. Can we get one here? We can. Okay. As far as that goes, I mean, I'd like it to be a much lower encounter. Like so. That's a lot of DV to get that. But that's okay. That was too much. That was too much the other direction. Ah, come on. Right about... is moving incredibly slowly. Well, for one thing, I had the wrong node selected. That's probably close enough. Maybe ever so slightly this direction. That was too much. How's that? That's decent. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, execute that node. 2,300 meters per second. 10-minute burn. And it'll happen here in 350 days. Okay. Well, we've got some time to kill then. So, once we reach this, of course, we're going to make a few inclination changes. We'll make a braking burn to be at about this same 32 million kilometers, and we'll need to raise this periapsis up to be roughly that same amount. It would be slightly more efficient if we were able to get an encounter at that location, but we have so much delta V. I'm not concerned about any of that. So we'll fix our inclination a little bit. We'll try to get our longitude of ascending node to be a little better. Yeah, we'll see how it all pans out. I'm not amazingly familiar with polar orbits, but I've done them a few times. I mean, we're already in a polar orbit pretty much once we circularize this, but I'm going to make some tweaks. We've got another 150 days left in this time warp, and then 2,300 meters per second to burn here. A lot of that is because we're burning in some awkward directions to fine-tune this encounter. But better to burn now than when we are actually encountering Dress. There's no real way around that one. 30 more days. Make that 20. Make that 10. Make that 1. Excellent. Okay, so this burn will be starting up momentarily. Our inclination is definitely going to be odd, but we do need to get a few things set up once we have this burn complete. Specifically, well, we should probably physics warp here, but specifically, the most important thing will of course be our braking burn, followed by I want to see what our final inclination here is before I make any decisions about where to put all of this. We can always change inclination, it won't take very much. In fact, it won't take much at all. There's a lot of asteroids out here. You know what that means, right? Dress is actually a dwarf planet, not a real planet, because it hasn't cleared its neighborhood. All these asteroids out here. Nice. Okay, well, that's fine. Apparently our burn is going to be 12 minutes, not 10 minutes. Probably closer to 15 minutes. This is going to be burning off a huge chunk of our delta V in our interplanetary transfer stage, but that's fine. That's what this stage is here for. In fact, we're not going to be burning enough of it. We probably should have brought less fuel, but it's fine. What could go wrong? Another 9 minutes left in this burn. Not too bad. I'm gonna go ahead and drop Flight Engineer down here since that's apparently going over our mission time. That's no good. So, essentially, once we're here, I'm gonna... I should not have done that. I should not have done that. That completely messed up our maneuver. Abort node execution. And just burn kill rot right here. We're gonna have to do this manually, I guess. Alternately, we could set up a maneuver. That's a possibility. Something like right here. So let's go ahead and stop this burn. And let's start a maneuver and get ourselves that encounter back. Okay. What do we got with this encounter? See, that's why I don't like to add things to maneuver nodes. I don't like compound maneuver nodes at all. Okay, which direction do we need to go here? We need to go slightly retrograde from where we were, but prograde from here. Okay, so we need to go like... Oh, we can't quite get there, it would appear. Ah! That's intense, the amount that it actually does. Let's just create a node here. Yeah, I know we have eccentricity here. That's fine. I just want to make some small adjustments to it if I can find it. No, I want to adjust it. No, I want to adjust it. There we go. Awkward. Very awkward. And also these hitches are extremely awkward right now. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Oh boy. I messed this up so much. But I'll own up to it, and I'll fix it. Let's just go over here. Get ourselves a nice little encounter. I think that was one. Do we have an encounter here? Technically, we do not. Okay. In that case, I think what we need to do is when our encounter is super close, like it is right here, I think we just need to change our inclination slightly to get it. Oh, come on. Where is this encounter? It should be here. We're right in the plane. Come on. Like, no, seriously. This encounter should be here. Oh, boy. I messed this up so bad. This is not my day. Okay, push it right on back out. We've got a decent encounter. Oh, there was one. Did you see that? There. Okay, and it's even... Yeah, that's good. Execute that node. Okay. We got it back. Oh. About 1,000 delta V. That's not bad. And it's in a nice polar location. I don't hate that. In fact, I think this is kind of a better encounter than the one we had before. In a way. I mean, it's a lot closer of an encounter, which is kind of worse. But I don't really care. We've got plenty of delta V to make that work. So we'll just finish up this burn here. And I'm not going to mess with this node this time. I wanted to just see how much delta V it was going to take to do what I wanted to do, but compound nodes break things. So instead, we'll just time warp this. Excellent. Got about another 5.5 minutes of burn time in game time, so a little over a minute of burn time in real time. Not too bad. We aren't going to be needing this anymore, I think. I mean, we'll probably use the circularization, as well as maybe some longitude of ascending nodes or inclination changes. But we don't need the home and transfer to another planet thing going on. Okay. So far, so good. Let's not mess this up this time. Another 2.5 minutes on this burn. Not bad, not bad. How are we doing on power? We're doing fine, considering that we're in a really awkward orientation for our solar panels for the sun. That's good. I mean, we could do, like, this, which is even more awkward. Good luck. We'd be much better off doing something like that. That would get the job done as far as solar panels go. Energy flow of 26. That's not bad. I think some of that has to do with the physics warp, though. Okay. There's our encounter. So now we can start messing with it. Excellent. So let's go ahead and start warping to here. And at this periapsis, add a maneuver. We are going to burn retrograde as little as possible. That's not as little as possible at all. We're going to burn retrograde as little as possible here to actually circularize. Well, not really circularize, but we're just going to hit right at about that sweet, sweet 32 million mark. That'll do. Okay, go ahead and execute that node. Fantastic. Although I'm going to go ahead and cancel the auto time warp. And we'll let MechJeb do the time warp from here. 1 year, 141 days, and 4 hours to go until we get to our destination. And then once we get down here, we'll circularize and take a look at how our inclination and longitude of ascending node and such are looking. I don't think longitude of ascending node really matters, all things considered. I mean, yeah, I really don't think it matters. I think we'll just change our inclination. And that'll be fine. Our inclination is going to be, what, somewhere around 5 degrees or so? Yeah, that shouldn't be too bad. I mean, technically we don't even need to do that, but I kind of want to. We've got 400 days left in this time warp, so that's going to take a while. And it looks like this orbital insertion, mostly due to my incompetence, will not be finished in this episode. So we're going to get there, we're going to do this braking burn, and then put a cut in, or I don't know. I haven't fully made up my mind yet on when that'll happen. Actually, at this rate, it'll probably be before the braking burn. I mean, maybe I should go ahead and put it in now. And then next episode we'll finish up the orbital insertion. That seems like a decent idea. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put a cut in here, and next episode we'll finish up this orbital insertion. See you all then.